From 1878 to 1914, Western Europe enjoyed an era of peace and prosperity. People had more time and more money, so they could enjoy themselves and express themselves more than ever before. It was a time of great optimism and creativity, and at its centre was Paris. In France, this period became known as La Belle Époque, the beautiful era. Many of the world's greatest artists, architects, and engineers were living in the city at the time, and much of their work can still be seen today. The Eiffel Tower is now a symbol of France, but it originally served as a temporary entrance to the 1889 World Fair. The French government had it built to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the French Revolution, and at 324 meters, it was the tallest structure in the world for over 40 years. It was designed by Gustave Eiffel, who described it as the perfect example of the art of the modern engineer. This mixture of art and science was a popular theme in Paris at the time. All over the city, scientists, engineers, architects, and artists were combining knowledge to create buildings and objects that were not only functional, but beautiful too. This reached its high point at the city's next World Fair in 1900. The fair exhibited some of the most technologically advanced inventions of the time, including diesel engines, talking films, and escalators, as well as promoting a new artistic style, Art Nouveau. This style can still be seen all over Paris, and some of the city's most famous buildings were opened especially for the fair. This is the Musée d'Orsay, a fine art museum on the left bank of the River Seine. It hasn't always been a museum. It was originally named the Gare d'Orsay and was one of the city's main train stations. It was opened in 1900, just in time for the fair. Its incredible structure of iron and glass made it one of the most popular attractions at the exhibition. It became a museum in 1986. Today, it is a true celebration of Belle Époque Paris, housing some of the most famous works of art of the time, including masterpieces from artists like Van Gogh, Monet, and Cézanne. As the Gare d'Orsay opened above ground, work was also finishing on the metro below ground. The first line opened on the 19th of July 1900 and was another fantastic blend of function and style. It was hailed as a masterpiece of Art Nouveau and was immediately popular with the French public. Today, the Paris Metro has 214 kilometers of line and is used by almost 1.4 billion travellers every year. It's still a design classic, and the network's unusual signs have become icons of the city. La Belle Époque was a period of intense creativity in Paris, which coincided with the beginning of the technological age. In the city's famous restaurants and cafes, the best-known artists in the world mingled with some of the greatest innovators of the time. The Belle Époque era ended in 1914, but it left an enduring legacy. Over the last century, people have become nostalgic for the era's elegance and excitement. Of course, Paris has changed a lot since then. But all over the city, there are still glimpses of the beauty of the Belle Époque.